Okay, so it's probably recording. I don't know if this is gonna save to anywhere. Uh, okay, yeah, it's gonna save to my recordings folder. Okay, well, still, I'm gonna show you how to draw three things. I'm gonna show you how to draw the figure, I'm gonna show you how to do things in perspective, and I'm gonna show you how to do figures in perspective. Uh, it's gonna take a little bit, but still, I like to use this certain technique for just drawing the head. We're going to start with the head, by the way. We're just like to use this technique. I'm just going to Control J and then move that to here and then move that to here. They're a little too close together. Hold on. There we go. That's fine. Whatever. So, first things first. We're going to focus on this one right here. Shit. I probably have to do that. Yeah, that's as close as I can get. This will be front view. This will be diagonal. This will be side profile. And so the first things first is you're going to want to cut off these sides here because these are going to be circles. And you're going to put a line down the middle like so. Line down the middle again. And this is going to be, and this line right here is going to be the brow line. And from the top and the bottom, you're going to go across. Now, when you're cutting across this circle, you're going to notice that it's kind of a square shape. That's because it's 1/3 of the. That's because it's about 2/3 of the size of the circle, and it's going to make a kind of square shape. You're going to see two rectangles. This here is the line of the hairline. You have the brow line. This is the line where the nose will be, and then you go one more down, and you have your chin, your chinny chin chin, your chin chin, and then just draw the jaw from there for the front view. Erase that shit. Et voila. You now have head. And eye goes smack dab in the middle of these. And mouth is like 1/3 of the way up. No, a little bit lower than that. Just do whatever looks good. Art's all about experimentation. Neck is going to be out like that. Not going to be too down, but it's going to be there. And shoulder. It's going to be the diagonal is going to be a little bit trickier because diagonals are always going to be tricky. So basically, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to cut the circle. I'll send you a video. And then you're gonna have it tilted up because this is gonna be where the brown line is, and this is also where the ear's gonna be. That's also one thing I forgot to mention, is that the ears exist. And you're also gonna be doing this, though I'm probably going a bit too far ahead for that. So we're just gonna stick with what we already know. Draw a line down the middle, line across. That's the brow line. Go across, nose line, go down, chin line, and hairline. Now this one's going to be a little bit trickier because you're going to have to, well, not really. This is just going to determine where the cheekbone is. You take it from the chin and you pull it to the middle, and you pull the jawline to about right where this here line is, and that's where your shit's gonna be. draw the neck shit. And eyes right there, eyes right there. That looks so shitty, but whatever. These are just basic figures. I don't like that. Not want it. Whatever. Side profile is also a little bit harder, but it's not that hard because it's just a ring basically that you're drawing, and you're gonna draw this from the side, and same thing. That's where the jaw is gonna be. This is definitely not going on YouTube. And I cheated a little bit there, so sue me. Now here's the thing about this technique. This technique works best because if you want to have the character like looking up, you can just like move this line back here, and you have like a reference. You have a thing for foreshortening. But you don't know anything about foreshortening, so that's why I'm doing this in the first place. But still, so this is front, and this is fuck you, fuck you, Photoshop. Okay. Anyways, moving on to the rest of the things. We're now going to do head. Now we're going to learn about the body, simplifying the figures of the body. So I'm just going to draw. I'm not even going to bother doing the thing. I'm just going to draw this head. Very simple head. Once you do the head enough times, you'll basically like know what looks good and what doesn't look good. Basically, we're basically going to teach you how to draw the spine, because the spine is an interesting thing. It goes out like that, and then it goes back inward, kind of like a weird, like, is that an E? No, it's not. It's like a really, really stretched out number 3. Because you can see this is going to be where the rib cage is, and then this is going to be the pelvis. Fuck. So, rib cage for this is going to be very useful, especially for you. The rib cage, you have your shoulder right here, or the where the neck connects. You're gonna go outward like this. Your figure should not be resting. It should not be like sitting on a block. It should be on a slope, like this. Then it goes down briefly, goes back in, and then back out. As you can see, pelvis is a little more simple, as it's just a band, and then it's a pelvis. You're basically just drawing a butt. If you want to if you want to make it even simpler, imagine that the pelvis is kind of tricky, but if you want to make it simpler, you're going to imagine it like a bucket. Just kind of like this. Outstretched bucket. And it goes down, another bucket, and then you cut it right here. Where's my button? There we go. And that's basically the shape of the pelvis. How the fuck is that the shape, you say? Well, shut the fuck up and I'll tell you real set quick. Basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna have it like that, and you're gonna make it into a heart shape, I guess. And you're gonna bring it around town, and the tailbone's gonna end right here. I'm not that very good at explaining how this fucking thing works, but shit. If you can find someone, I'll send you a video of someone who's better than me. Believe me. So this is the pelvis, you see. The pelvis is basically a bucket. And the rib cage is fuck all I know. It's basically a rib cage. That's basically how you simplify the human body from a side view's perspective, because you got the belly here, back right there, and then you have your booty. And another thing about the anatomy is the dick. The dick starts here. The pepper, your pink pepper, starts there. Doesn't start up here. Doesn't start down here. It doesn't start up here. It starts right here. Right there. That's where your pepper is. And that right there is your ass hole. That's how you spell it. Anyways. Legs. And anyways. So, what we're going to be doing now is do the same thing, but in profile view. I mean, not profile, front view. What the shit am I talking about? So you have the spine right here. It's not going to be, all loopy, curvy and shit. No, it's not going to do that. Instead you're going to do is you're going to have the shoulders out here. You're going to have them wide if they're male. You're going to have them narrow if they're women. And basically the rib cage is going to be the same thing. Almost. You have the plate right here, and then it goes down, and it does this thing. You basically had the right idea when you showed me that thing, but the only difference is that, like, it has a bit of a... How do I explain that? It has a bit of a indentation in it. And then you have the pelvis, which is, again, you can use a bucket, but I like using this better. I like the band and tail better. Or basically the Tesla T, as I call it sometimes. Because it looks like a Tesla. I just now started calling it that. You got the belly here, the hippies here, and then the groin right where the little tailbone is. And here's another thing about the pelvis. The pelvis is not going to be this wide for men usually. Usually men have like shorter and longer pelvises than women because women need that wide pelvis to push the babies out of their uterus thing. So I basically just drew like a very feminine guy. And you have the arms. I'm not going to teach you how to draw arms because you basically have the right idea with arms. That's basically how you do the body. And if you redraw this over and over again, eventually you're gonna start seeing like how they can like form in diagonal shapes and all that kind of shit, you know. Um, so it's just practice that makes perfect. Uh, but now it's not. Oh, that's right. It's not thing. Um, Now I'm gonna show you how to draw hands and feet. Feet are the fun part. So, hands are basically going to go up like that. You probably already know how to do this, but I'm going to teach you anyway because this part is important. Because this is important. Shit. These four lines are going to act as the bone. Because the pinky goes out like that. Ring finger is about the same size as the index finger. And then the middle finger is the longest. Which is, I guess, why people use it for fingering a lot. And then you have the thumb, which kind of just divides off and then merges back in. And you can practice with this for a while, if need be. Another thing I noticed about the way you draw hands, when you clench them up into fists, I noticed that you make it look like it's that whatever it's called, the thing that you put between your toes. That's exaggerated, obviously, but you know, I'm gonna tell you this. Think when people or curl up into things up into a fist, imagine as though it was like a pentagon. You have the ring. You have they all point inwards. All the sides, all the fingers are gonna point inwards. So you go here, and then here, and then here. The middle finger obviously is gonna be the biggest, and then you're gonna have the ring and the pinky. If you want, you can use your own fist as a reference. If your fist actually looks like that, I am so sorry. And then you draw the knuckles on top. And there you go. That's hand. And now feet. Alright, here's the second one. Feet's an interesting one. As you have this right here, this ball, you have this ankle, and basically you're just gonna basically draw a Pyramid Head from Silent Hill, except you're not gonna draw him straight. You're gonna actually, his front is actually gonna be very crooked, and then you're gonna have to make another little triangle for the toesies. Here you go. Yeah. Already it's kind of starting to look like a foot, but you gotta put a little more work on it. And you're also gonna have to keep in mind that sometimes this is not for all people. Some people are very flat-footed. But if you don't want them to be a flat foot, you're gonna have to keep in mind that there is an arch there. That's basically all I can show you about feet. That's all I really know. I don't know. It's just lots of practice. Maybe I'll show you figures in perspective in some other time, but I will show you I'll show you a few videos of how to do things in perspective, because I know that's going to be helpful for you. Alright, I'm ending.